Alright, so here we go. New week, new headlines, and plenty for markets to digest. Hey everyone, happy Monday, January 26th. I'm Endrit Sella, and this is Capital Markets Quickie. Let's jump into what's driving the week ahead. Quick note before we dive in. Today's episode is brought to you by AMF Capital, Asset Management Frankfurt. Learn more about our funds and strategies at amf-capital.de. Alright, let's dive right in. Now, the big focus right now is clearly the Federal Reserve. The central bank meets this week, and while no one really expects an interest rate move, investors will be paying very close attention to what Chair Jerome Powell says. There's still pressure coming from the White House to lower rates, and therefore every word from the Fed will matter. The big moment comes on Wednesday, when the Federal Open Market Committee delivers its first rate decision of the year. The Fed has already lowered rates at 3 consecutive meetings, but lately, several officials have been signaling that they want more data on inflation and the labor market before making another move. Last week's inflation numbers showed that prices were still elevated in November, which is why markets are currently expecting rates to stay unchanged. On top of that, we'll also get some fresh economic data, including a delayed report on December wholesale inflation and an update on the United States trade balance. So yes, plenty of macro signals coming in. At the same time, earnings season is shifting into high gear. This week marks the start of major reports from some of the world's biggest tech companies. Microsoft, Meta, and Tesla are scheduled to report on Wednesday, followed by Apple on Thursday. Investors will be watching closely to see how the artificial intelligence story is developing and how demand is holding up across these giants. Microsoft is reporting after a weak start to the year for its share price. Tesla is facing slower deliveries, which puts more pressure on management to outline new growth paths. Meta's results should offer more clarity on its artificial intelligence strategy as it continues to move away from its metaverse ambitions. And for Apple, artificial intelligence will also be in focus, especially after its recently announced partnership with Alphabet. Beyond big tech, several other major companies are stepping into the spotlight. Chipmaker Texas Instruments, semiconductor equipment producer ASML, and technology veteran IBM are all reporting. In telecom, AT&T and Verizon are on the calendar. And in the industrial space, earnings from Caterpillar, Boeing, General Motors, Lockheed Martin, and steel producer Nucor could give us a good sense of how strong United States manufacturing really is right now. So all in all, we're heading into a week packed with central bank signals, key economic data, and heavyweight earnings. Between the Fed and the Magnificent Seven, markets should have more than enough to keep them busy. Alright, that wraps up today's Capital Markets Quickie. Join me again tomorrow morning for more market updates. See you then.